We're going to stay friends on Facebook, just in case. I'm still going to wear that necklace they gave me, just in case. We create comfort zones, and for some of us, our comfort zones are destructive habits and behaviors.
That's true.
My friend got locked up, but this is where we used to go and kick it, so I'm going to go roll a blunt up, smoke it in his memory, because that's my boy.
Yeah.
This is where we used to go and drink, so I'm going to go ahead and pour out a little liquor. Not too much, because some of it got to get in my cup.
Mm-hmm.
And so we keep going. We create these comfort zones because those become the point of reference that we have. But don't you know that that is not where Jesus went back and got Peter from his comfort zone. And Jesus is coming to get some of us from our comfort zone. The problem is we don't want to leave the boat. He said, that comfort, that's over. He said, I want you to become fishers of men. The first promise he made to Peter, he reminded Peter of that promise. He said, I ain't called you to fish out the sea. I called you to be a fisher of men. But you're going back to what you used to do. Mm-hmm. You can't stay the same after meeting me.
Amen. Amen. Yeah.
You can't stay the same after being with me. Amen. Something has to change. Amen. Hallelujah. But that is the power of grief. So last Sunday, Apostle talked about how Goliath means to strip. How Goliath strips us of our resources. And he went to 2 Samuel and he preached about Goliath. The name Goliath means to strip away. Goliath strips us, but grief blinds us.
Good. Yes.
Grief will blind you to the reality of life. I'm talking about that kind of grief where your thoughts you can't even get your thoughts together. You ever been so sad? Yes. You can't think straight.
Oh, yeah.
Grief will rob you of your appetite.
Oh, yeah.
That's the truth.
It will rob you of your sanity. It will blind you.
Yeah.
You ever notice there are certain people that come around only when people die?
Yeah.
That's why they call attorneys, those ambulance chasers, because when you're in a moment of grief, you're vulnerable. That's why psychologists tell people when you have experienced significant trauma or loss, for a year after that trauma or loss, do not make any major decisions.
Amen.
Amen. That is not the time to sell the house and move to Fiji. Because guess what? In 3 months, you're going to be like, what in the world? What?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm sunburned and hot. And I have no place to go back to. So they say, don't make major decisions because we're blinded with grief. And we find that when we continue in 24. Let's go to, keep on 24. Let's look at verses 13 to 16. Now, on the same day, 2 of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. That's about a 2.5-hour walk for some. For me, it would have taken all day, but evidently they were in good health. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them. Watch this, I love this verse. But they were kept from recognizing him. Jesus was walking with them, but they didn't even know. So Jesus had showed up. They couldn't even see Jesus in their grief. Some of us, Jesus is in the midst of your situation right now, but we are so sad, you so burdened, you so grieved, you can't even see that Jesus is walking right by you.
Hallelujah.
That Jesus, every step you take, and he was keeping pace with it. But they couldn't even see him, even though he was right there with them. So Goliath strips us of the resources that we need, but grief blinds us to the reality that Christ is the resource. So in their grief, they couldn't even understand. It was not until verse 30 that they said, did not our hearts burn within us? If you keep reading on down that same passage of scripture, when it showed up and they finally realized what had happened, they were able to look back and say, that's why I was able to walk through that. That's why my heart kept. That's why I felt like that. Because Jesus was walking with me the entire time.
Amen.
The very person that they were grieving were walking with him, but he was in a better form because he had risen. All power was in his hand.
Oh, hallelujah.
Everything that they needed was in him.
Yes.
But they couldn't even see it. And so sometimes we're grieving about losing that job when God says, I got something better for you waiting right here. I've already prepared it for you. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to stress about it. I've already got it ready. Sometimes we're so sad. And my daughter and I, we were talking yesterday. We were talking about, relationships and stuff. And I said, sometimes God is trying to put the right person with us, but we got to make room. But we holding on to this other person.
Okay.
And God is saying, you need to let that friend go because I got a better friend for you over here. You need to let that situation go because I got something better for you over here. But you so busy holding on to this that you won't make room for what I have for you. Make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So when Jesus showed up, if we go back to verse 8, my favorite part of verse 8, it says, then they remembered his words. Sometimes all we have are the promises of God. So sometimes we have to remember his words.
That's right.
Because he said heaven and earth will pass away before one jot or tittle of my word returns to me void. So everything, whenever you worry about what's going to happen in life, just remember his word. His word says, I'll never leave you nor forsake you.
Amen.
Hallelujah. His word says that everything you need is in me.
Amen.
For I can supply all your needs through riches in Christ Jesus.